The grand ballroom of the Westbrook Hotel hadn't changed in 10 years. Same crystal chandeliers, same pretentious artwork, same crowd of overachievers competing to prove who'd become the most successful since graduation. Only now, instead of comparing SAT scores and college acceptances, my former classmates were comparing job titles and zip codes. "Jason, you finally made it." Amanda Collins, former class president and current investment banker, air-kissed my cheek. "We were just talking about everyone's careers. Still doing that little online thing." I adjusted my simple black blazer, Brunello Cucinelli, though they'd never guess, and smiled. "You could say that. Nova Commerce is keeping me busy." "Nova? Oh, right, your website." She waved over a group of our former classmates. "Jason's here. Remember his startup?" They descended like designer-clad vultures, each clutching drinks that probably cost more than they thought I made in a week. Mark Stevens, corporate lawyer. Diana Peters, hedge fund manager. Tyler Richardson, who never let anyone forget he was a partner at McKinsey. "The shopping site, right?" Tyler smirked. "Still trying to compete with Amazon? If only they knew that Amazon had tried to buy us 3 times in the past year. That our revolutionary AI-driven personalization engine was reshaping the entire e-commerce industry. That tomorrow's Wall Street Journal would announce our IPO, valuing Nova Commerce at $18 billion. Something like that," I said mildly, accepting a glass of champagne. "You always were different," Diana added with practiced concern. "Not everyone needs to climb the corporate ladder. Small businesses are admirable." I thought about the Nova Commerce headquarters, 40 stories of prime Manhattan real estate, home to over 2,000 employees. About the engineering team that had revolutionized online retail with our predictive analytics platform. About the Forbes cover shoot scheduled for next week. "Very admirable," Amanda agreed. "Though if you're ever interested in a real career, my bank is always hiring analysts. Entry level, of course, but it's a foot in the door." I checked my phone discreetly as their conversation turned to more successful classmates. A message from my CFO lit up the screen. "Final IPO papers signed. Goldman Sachs confirms pricing at $85 per share. We're all set for tomorrow's announcement." "Still obsessed with your phone, Chin?" Tyler leaned in, designer suit reeking of expensive cologne. "Probably checking those website orders, right? How many people actually shop on your little platform? Last quarter? 47 million active users. Our AI-driven marketplace had processed over $12 billion in transactions. But they weren't ready for that reality yet." "Enough to keep me busy," I replied. "Speaking of business," Mark interjected, "did you see the buzz about that mysterious tech company going public tomorrow? Some e-commerce platform that's supposedly revolutionizing online retail with AI technology. My firm's been trying to get in on the IPO, but it's all very hush-hush." I hid my smile behind my champagne glass. Mark's law firm had been desperately pitching their services to Nova Commerce for months, unaware that the mysterious tech company was run by the classmate they were currently pitying. "Sounds interesting," I managed. "Apparently the founder is some brilliant tech visionary," Diana added. "Very secretive. Nobody knows much about them, but the valuation numbers are insane." Speaking of numbers, Amanda turned back to me. "How many employees does your website have now?" "Still working from home." I thought about my corner office overlooking Central Park. About the hundreds of engineers developing our next-generation AI systems. About the global operations center that managed millions of transactions daily. "Just a small team," I said. "That's nice." Her patronizing smile could have powered a small city. "You know, my 16-year-old nephew runs an online store too. Maybe you two could exchange tips." The group laughed, that particular kind of laughter reserved for people they believed were beneath them. I'd heard it all through high school. The scholarship kid who spent lunch breaks coding instead of socializing, who wore department store clothes while they flaunted designer labels. "You always were kind of a loner," Tyler remarked. "Always on your laptop working on what did you call it? The future of shopping." "Nova Commerce," I corrected quietly. And yes, I believed online retail could be more than just a digital catalog. That AI and machine learning could create personalized shopping experiences that would transform how people discover and buy products. "That's adorable," Diana cooed. "Still chasing that dream. But seriously, Jason, at some point you have to join the real world. We're 30 now. Time to get a proper job. My phone buzzed again. My executive assistant this time. CNBC wants to move up tomorrow's interview. Also, the New York Times profile is ready for final approval. Excuse me, I said, stepping away from the group. Need to handle something for work. Of course. Amanda called after me. Those online orders won't process themselves. I found a quiet corner of the ballroom and checked the messages flooding my phone. The IPO news was already leaking in certain circles. Financial reporters were speculating about the revolutionary e-commerce platform about to go public. Social media was buzzing with rumors about Nova Commerce's valuation. Mr. Chin. My assistant's text scrolled across the screen. The Times wants a quote about disrupting the e-commerce industry. Also, Goldman Sachs is confirming the IPO is oversubscribed by 300%. I glanced back at my former classmates, still clustered together in their expensive clothes and expensive careers, probably discussing how sad it was that I hadn't succeeded like them. Tell the Times I'll give them something tomorrow, I replied. After the announcement. Jason. A new voice made me look up. Mrs. Roberts, our former computer science teacher, approached with a warm smile. I thought that was you. How are you? Still working on that e-commerce platform you started in my class. She had been the only one who believed in my vision back then. Who encouraged me when everyone else mocked the idea of competing with established retail giants. Still at it, Mrs. Roberts. Actually, I lowered my voice. You might want to watch the financial news tomorrow morning. Her eyes widened slightly. She had always been sharp. Jason, the tech IPO everyone's talking about. Is that? I nodded slightly. She squeezed my arm, beaming with pride. I always knew you'd change the world, she whispered. Even if they couldn't see it. Back in the main group, the conversation had turned to investment portfolios and vacation homes. Tyler was bragging about his firm's latest acquisition. Diana was comparing yacht sizes with Amanda. Jason. Mark called me back over. We were just discussing that mystery tech IPO again. Tyler's firm valued it at $18 billion. Can you imagine? Some website nobody's ever heard of. I thought about the Nova Commerce platform that millions of people used every day. About the AI technology that had made us the fastest growing e-commerce company in history. About tomorrow's announcement that would shock everyone in this room. Actually, I said carefully, I might know something about that company. Oh. Amanda raised a perfectly sculpted eyebrow. Don't tell me your little website has connections in the real tech world? I checked my phone one last time. A message from my PR team. Forbes cover is locked. Headline. The future of shopping. How Jason Chen's Nova Commerce is revolutionizing retail. You could say that, I smiled. But let's talk about it tomorrow. After the market opens. The morning after the reunion, I sat in my corner office at Nova Commerce headquarters, watching the New York Stock Exchange's massive video screen from my wall of monitors. In 30 minutes, our IPO would make headlines across the globe, transforming the little website into one of the most valuable tech companies in the world. Mr. Chin. My assistant Sarah appeared with my coffee. CNBC is set up in the conference room. The Wall Street Journal wants a quote about the AI technology, and your former classmates are blowing up social media. I smiled, pulling up LinkedIn on my screen. Sure enough, Amanda, Tyler, and the others were already sharing the breaking news about Nova Commerce's impending IPO. The same people who'd pitted my small business were now scrambling to show their connection to the company. Jason Chen's Nova Commerce. Revolutionary AI platform. Estimated $18 billion valuation. Amanda's post dripped with sudden recognition. So proud to have gone to school with such an innovative entrepreneur. #classmate success. My phone buzzed, a message from Mrs. Roberts, watching CNBC. Show them what that little website can do. The CNBC interview went smoothly. I explained our AI-driven personalization engine, the machine learning algorithms that predicted consumer behavior, and our vision for the future of retail. The reporter was particularly interested in how we'd built the platform from scratch, competing with giants like Amazon and Alibaba. And you started this in a high school computer science class? She asked. Sometimes the biggest innovations start in the smallest places, I replied, thinking of all the lunch breaks spent coding while my classmates mocked my dreams. Halfway through the interview, my phone exploded with notifications. Tyler's law firm had just published a press release claiming they'd advised Nova Commerce on various matters. A desperate attempt to associate themselves with our success, though we'd rejected their services months ago. Diana's hedge fund posted about their early recognition of Nova Commerce's potential, conveniently forgetting how she dismissed us as a hobby website when we were seeking initial funding. But the best message came from Mark. Jason just saw the news. My firm would love to discuss potential partnership opportunities. Also, remember when I offered to help with your small business legal needs? Let's grab coffee and laugh about that. As the opening bell approached, I gathered with my executive team in our main conference room. The wall screens showed financial news networks, all featuring Nova Commerce's logo and my photo. The mysterious tech company was mysterious no longer. Trading begins in 5 minutes, my CFO announced. Initial orders are massive. We're looking at a potential first-day pop of over 100%. I checked my phone again. More messages from former classmates, each one more effusive than the last. Amanda had somehow found my private number. Jason, just saw you on CNBC. You were so modest last night. We must catch up properly. By the way, my bank would love to discuss future financing options. The opening bell rang. Nova Commerce stock began trading at $85 per share. Within minutes, it had soared past $160. Congratulations, Mr. Chin, Sarah said, handing me the freshly printed Forbes magazine. The cover story just went live. I looked at my photo on the cover, the headline bold and clear. The future of shopping, how Jason Chen's Nova Commerce is revolutionizing retail. Below it, a subheading, from high school project to $18 billion tech giant. Sir. Sarah appeared again. There's a rather insistent group in the lobby. They say they're your former classmates. I glanced at the security feed. Amanda, Tyler, Diana, and Mark stood in our sleek reception area, looking both impressed and uncomfortable. Their designer clothes and expensive accessories seemed out of place against Nova Commerce's modern, understated aesthetic. Send them up, I said. It's time they saw what a little website really looks like. They entered my office like tourists in a museum, eyes wide at the spectacular view, the wall of screens showing real-time transaction data, the awards and patents lining the walls. Jason, Amanda started, her voice having lost its condescending edge. This is incredible. Welcome to Nova Commerce, I said calmly. Or as you called it last night, that little online thing. Tyler stepped forward, straightening his tie nervously. Listen about what I said. I had no idea. That my small business was revolutionizing e-commerce? That our AI technology was reshaping the entire retail industry? That we're now worth more than the companies you all work for combined? Diana clutched her designer handbag tighter. We just wanted to congratulate you. And perhaps discuss potential collaborations. Interesting, I said, turning to the screens showing our stock price still soaring. Last night you were offering me entry-level positions. Today you want collaborations. We were wrong, Mark admitted. So wrong. But you have to understand you never told us. You never asked, I interrupted. You were too busy competing with each other, comparing job titles and vacation homes. Too focused on traditional success to see that the future was being built right in front of you. I gestured to the vast office space beyond my doors, where hundreds of engineers and developers worked on technology that would further transform online retail. That little website you mocked? It processes more transactions in an hour than most retailers do in a month. Our AI system has redefined how people shop online. We're not competing with Amazon anymore. They're trying to catch up to us. Amanda's phone buzzed. Probably a notification about Nova Commerce's stock price hitting another record high. Jason, surely we can move past last night's misunderstanding. My bank would be honored too. Thank you, but we already work with Goldman Sachs. I smiled slightly. They recognized our potential before we were worth billions. The afternoon headlines scrolled across my news feed. Nova Commerce IPO soars 150% on first day. Tech wunderkind Jason Chen becomes youngest tech billionaire. How a high school project transformed online retail. Mr. Chen. Sarah appeared again. The Bloomberg interview is in 10 minutes. And Mrs. Roberts is here. My former classmates turned to see our old computer science teacher enter, beaming with pride. I brought something for your office, she said, holding up a framed piece of paper. It was my original business plan for Nova Commerce, written in her class 10 years ago. The one my classmates had laughed at when I presented it. I kept it all these years, she said, because I knew that sometimes the biggest success stories start with someone brave enough to think differently. I hung the frame next to my Forbes cover, a reminder that vision matters more than validation. Thank you for stopping by, I told my former classmates. But I have a company to run. Sarah will show you out. That evening, as the sun set over Manhattan, I sat in my office reading the congratulatory messages flooding in from around the world. Tech leaders, retail giants, and venture capitalists who had once dismissed us were now praising our innovation. But the message that meant the most was a simple email from Mrs. Roberts. You didn't just build a website, Jason. You built the future. And you proved that success doesn't always look like what people expect. I looked at my original business plan hanging on the wall, then at the Forbes cover beside it. The little website had grown into something beyond anyone's imagination. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't proving others wrong. It's proving yourself right and changing the world in the process.